Hello and welcome back to Actually Let's Talk About It with me, your host Lily. And today, y'all, we are going to get into another DPR IAN interview. This one is short. It's just with him talking about his tattoos, but it is an interview with GQ Taiwan. We're going to get into that one and just do a little something as we wait for more content from DPR IAN in terms of music, because I'm pretty sure I've reacted to dang near everything he has done musically. So yeah, and until I get time to do the bigger interviews, the longer interviews that he's done with other channels, we're gonna get into this one for today. Okay, so before we get into this video reaction, we're going to have a moment of solidarity with the indigenous people all around the world, specifically the indigenous people in Congo, in Palestine, in Sudan, and in Yemen. Y'all, I've been speaking a little bit about what's been happening in the Congo and Palestine and Sudan on the channel in length and briefly for a hot minute, for a few months now. And Yemen is now being added into the mix because of what my government, aka the United States government, is doing over there. It ain't good. As usual, I'm like, trying not to be fed up with my country every day. Every day, my government specifically, who's over the country. So it's pretty much the same thing. Try not to be fed up with this government because the way they move, shady, unjust. They literally are on a demon time 24/7. It's grotesque, to be very honest. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. But as you know, what is going on in the Congo is exploitation again of Black bodies on behalf of either colonizer governments or capitalistic tech companies who seek to exploit people in the name of profit. It's just disgusting and despicable behavior. And so it is free Congo until they free. It is not buying new tech until these governments and these tech corporations can prove that the minerals that you're outsourcing, the coltan, the lithium, etc., are not going to be done using child labor, which just means they're forcing Black children in the Congo, aka Congolese children, to mine these materials, that they're forcing innocent men and women to mine these materials day in and day out and pay them pennies while they make millions, billions, and trillions off of it. Can't have that, especially when a lot of people die in the mines because of the harsh conditions, because of the radioactive materials, because lithium ion that's in our lithium ion batteries, that the core of it, the raw material of it, is radioactive. Coltan is radioactive. It's not healthy for people to touch, let alone inhale the fumes of it and the dust it generates. Not healthy at all. And then we have what's going on in Palestine, which is a genocide. Okay, it's a genocide. According to the ICJ, they didn't call for a ceasefire, but they did rule that South Africa's presentation of the facts, there was evidence of genocide going on. So yeah, that's what it is. Combined with food insecurity, combined with continuous bombing, combined with the destruction of hospitals, the destruction of refugee camps, the purposeful destruction of basically shelter to where now people are living on the dirt. And in the rainy time, when dirt gets wet, it turns into mud. And I'm like, you can't sleep on that. You can't live on that. It'll flood. And I'm like, and that's where some of the refugee camps are going through right now. So it's just not a cool situation. We need a ceasefire. We're going to keep protesting and lobbying and boycotting and striking until it happens. And that's it and that's all. And then we got what's going on in Sudan, which is a civil war that is being funded by outside entities with the two warring regimes or factions. And the Sudanese people are in the middle. And they are being killed, they are being harmed physically, emotionally, mentally. It is not an okay situation. And while that is going on with the Sudanese people and the warring factions fighting each other, these governments that are funding the fighting are coming in to try to take the resources, specifically the gold, out of Sudan. It's disgusting behavior. It's dirty work. It's grimy work. It is despicable. Okay, that's it and that's all. And then we have Yemen, who have been standing on business for Palestine for months. And their reward for that and the blocking of the Red Sea is that the United States government is saying, oh yeah, we get to bomb you for no reason. And I'm just like, and to know the colonial history of Yemeni people and what they've been through You have to go back decades and centuries to really fully grasp how completely and utterly uncalled for this action is. But yeah, I'm not siding with my government on this, as I do not in most of the things that it does, because it's always been for itself, never for the people, even the people here at home. So I know for sure if any time my government is involved in something outside of these borders, I already know it's going to be some dumb shit, some unethical shit, some unrighteous shit, some colonizer shit. And I'm never wrong about that. And it's always proven right. So I'm like, yeah, we gotta call it what it is. It's 2024, and we not gonna skirt around the truth no more. We just gonna call it what it is. I'm literally a citizen of a settler colony that was stolen from the indigenous Native Americans. And literally the descendant of Africans, enslaved people who were stolen from their home countries, put in chains, boarded on a ship, and trafficked into the land that was stolen from indigenous Native Americans. So I'm like, yeah. I think I got a right to say what I'm saying about the government. That's all I'm gonna say, okay? I'm like, that's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, it's a free Congo over here, it's free Palestine, it's free Sudan, and it's free Yemen. Until they're free. And that's it, and that's all. We don't play about them. And so the Patriot shout out will go out to Genoviva. The second Patriot shout out will go out to Clover Me. The third Patriot shout out will go out to IL. The fourth Patriot shout out will go out to Amphis. And the fifth Patriot shout out will go out to Shayaka. And I do want to thank you all so much for your support on the Patreon. It really does mean the world to me. And a big ups and a big shout out to the wonderful patrons. The wonderful subscribers and the patrons too. Subscribers on YouTube, thank you all so much for your likes, your comments, and your shares. It really does mean the world to me as well. And also, if you're watching this on YouTube and you have yet to subscribe to the channel, do not forget to do so if you would like to support the channel further. But without further ado, we're going to get straight into this DPR IAN video and just see what it gonna do, okay? What it gonna do, what it gonna look like. Yeah, let's get into it.
I thought it was brilliant because I was in the middle of nowhere. What better way to end your day with getting a tattoo? It took about probably 12 hours.
What?
What's up, GQ? This is DPR IAN, and welcome to my tattoo tour.
Oh. He's going over all of them?
My first tattoo, it's actually this one, believe it or not. And it says, be there, be down, be you. So be there, meaning, be wherever you are. Be down, just be ready. But most importantly, be yourself. I just wanted a tattoo ever since I was a kid. I got this about when I was mid-20s, believe it or not. I was like, do you put any type of numbing cream on or not? And, they didn't have any of that. So I was like, yeah, it's okay. But no, I still say, but they say part of the experience of getting a tattoo is feeling it, getting it done on you. And after I got it, I was like, oh wow, that's a lot bigger than I thought. Yeah. Oh goodness, what do you think a Korean mom would say to you when she thinks you're growing up in the academics and you come home with a extremely large chest tattoo at that age? She's devastated, like almost to the point of like disowning me. Now she knows I'm not going to become a doctor or a lawyer or a dentist. So I think there's some part of it that kind of accepted it. I'm not extremely dependent on having one style of tattoos, but at the same time I do want to find some aesthetic in mix matching. For example, these two tattoos here, the left side represents a lot of the dark moments that I kind of went through. The right side represents more of the high time. So I've always kept that in terms of positioning and picking where I want to place it. So the next tattoo I'd like to show off is this arm piece, this sleeve, kind of veiled up, staring at you from the corner of the darkness. So this one was in representation of my first album and the character that I play, Mido. This was the, I guess you could call, crown that I love to carry no matter where I went. As you guys know, I was in an idol group called Now. We called our fandom crowns. I thought, man, what better way to wear it? Didn't want to forget where my fandom really came from, so that's what this crown really means. This was done with a group of special people. They wanted to get a tattoo in French stating dreamers. And dreamers is what we call a fan. So we had the tattoos come to the studio, about 6 of them, 7 including me, and a few of my, I guess, people from DPR. We all got matching tattoos. And the reason
That's
it was
cute.
big is because, every time I hold a mic, you would see that. So yeah, big shout out to them. I love it.
That's
Sweet idea
cool.
too. The parts where I didn't know it would hurt that much were my fingers. Oh boy. The smallest area equates to the most biggest pain. So when it came down to the pinky, right there, it felt like a knife going into it. And I think the second painful tattoo, I did it in Peru, in one of the villages on the Inca Trail. So he didn't have a machine, so he dotted it all. But you can imagine how long that process took. I thought it was brilliant because I was in the middle of nowhere. What better way to end your day with getting a tattoo that took about probably 12 hours.
Dang.
I couldn't believe he was doing it. It was completely just
a Peruvian tattoo. That is amazing.
Any idea what he was looking at or how he could see? I think anyone that has a tattoo will understand why it hurts so much on the bone. I don't think it's necessarily the pain. I think it's the feeling. It just feels like something's vibrating inside of you. It sounded quite wrong, but I mean, that's how excruciating it feels.
He said that sounded quite wrong. Please.
Actually, one of my favorites is the raven with the one odd eye. So this crow was actually the tattoo that I got that represented my second album. And the wingspan is meant to come over to around my shoulder, kind of symbolize the grasp it has on me. Being from Australia, I think the hardcore metal scene was always a big thing for me. So this one was the only tattoo that I ever have of depicting a different artist. It was an album called True View. I've listened to it just religiously. The reason why I did this was this album really truly did take me out of my darkest moments. The very first time that we performed on World Tour, I think at that time we were doing about 20-something cities. And I think I was going through such a bad episode. I was kind of blacking out here and there, but I knew I wanted to make that of something. This one on my neck that goes around my neck here. I got this one done in Brazil. As you can see, it's very thin. Its moments are high on the darkest swing. It was a poem that I wrote. I always felt my moments were the most eccentric and I guess you could say high when I was in my most darkest state. That's kind of what I marked myself, right on my neck.
This is deep.
Every big, bad, hood moment that has ever happened to me, I do not let that pass. I like to jot it down. It's kind of like every time you smell a scent that takes you back to the past. It's kind of like that. I look down at this and I know exactly where, when, what time of day it was, what I was wearing, what the tattoos looked like, and how I was feeling. It takes me back extremely. What better way to do it than to put it on your body? And my mom would always say, there's gonna be no space. Mom, I still have my legs. Well, thank you, GQ. This was your own personal.
I still have my legs, please. Sir. He said I still got my legs. DPR IAN really is something for that comment. I'm like, yeah. Because anybody that got parents, okay, like it doesn't just stop at Korean mothers, black mothers. I'm like, one of the main reasons why I do not get tattoos, I have none at all, is because I do not like pain. And I don't care how much numbing spray you put on my hand, my arm, anywhere. I'm like, I know I'm going to feel something here. And I'm like, a needle on the skin? And it's something I can't remove. I'm going to have to keep it forever. Unless I get it lasered off. And that could be a whole nother level of pain. I'm like, I got to think about this. But that's the reason why I don't have any. And then also because we're not traditionalists per se growing up, but like tattoos, the temporary ones were fine because you can rub them off, but permanent ones, that's not really something that was done. I didn't grow up around a lot of people that had tattoos in the family at all, And I'm like, it is just not like a thing that was encouraged. Also, because we grew up Pentecostal Christian, Baptist Christian, Methodist Christian. Like, it was just, yeah, religious, religious, y'all, religious. So it was like not a thing. But I really loved tattoos ever since I was a kid. I've always been fascinated with them. I just never really wanted one myself because I've never really had something that is meaningful enough for me to tattoo it on to my body yet. I may as I get older, but it's just not now. I'm like, not now. At least I'm like, I'm about to be 28 this year. I should get something done, but I'm like, I just don't have anything that I would think would be as meaningful going forward in my life as it would be for me just right now. So I'm like, I don't think like I could grow with this tattoo and it still have the same meaning it has for me now. I don't think future me would have the same outlook that me right now would about that tattoo. And that's what's also causes me not to get any. Because I'm like, I'm too in my head about certain things. So yeah. But I might. It depends. It just depends. I don't know. Like I've thought of other things to get, like certain things to get tattooed, but mainly it would be on my fingers, like on the end portions of them. But I do know that that's one of the hardest places to tattoo and the most painful places to tattoo, which is also why I'm second guessing. So I'm like, if I was to have a tattoo here, 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 and here, which is what I wanted to do, I'm like, the amount of pain, and I'm like, and what would it say? So I'm still debating, but it was nice to see that the way his thought process was in getting his tattoos. I want mine to be cohesive. Like if I ever do any, I want them to be cohesive and for it to tell a story, but I'm just not sure what story it would say yet. So it's going to be interesting. I'm like, I'm gonna see because I'm really into going into your roots, and my tattoos having something to do with who I am as a Black woman. And that might be where it will go from there. It might be more on the side of tribal tattoos, but until I decide which one to get, because as an African American person, one of the interesting things about that is that you don't belong to just one ethnic group within the racial banner of Black. There's probably a bunch that you belong to. So it's like seeing which tribal tattoo would fit best for me would be probably the best thing to see. But yes, that might be something rooted in that. Or it could be something that's not rooted in Black culture, but most likely it will be. But yeah, that's what I feel like. That's what I feel like I would do. But yeah, y'all, that is my reaction to DPR Ian's tattoo story of his tattoos with GQ Taiwan. I'm glad that they asked here as well, because I'm like, I knew there was something special about the flower tattoo, because the only other artist that I listen to that has a tattoo of a flower on his hand like that is Zayn, and I know that he is Pakistani and British, and so I'm like, I know the significance that tattoo would have for him. So I'm like, it was interesting to see DPR Ian's the significance of that one, the fact that he got it done in Peru and that it was hand done, because I know that those are like, that's how they used to do tattoos back in the day. So the fact that he was like, did it the traditional way, I'm like, that makes it even better. Like, I'm like, I would keep it forever. I'm like, that is so cool. Because Peru has a high Andean Mesoamerican indigenous population. So it is amazing that he got it done at a village in Peru. I'm like, that I would never let that go. I'm like, I would never not tell that story. But yeah. So yeah, y'all, that is the end of my ramblings and my musings. That is my reaction to DPR Ian's video. I will be doing more DPR Ian videos relatively soon. Like specifically like concert videos and live performance videos and interview videos. I just have to make time for them because I have a few other things I need to get done on the Patreon side if you're watching this video on YouTube first, and then I'll get back to the other things that I need to catch up on the YouTube side. So yeah, y'all, just keep a lookout within the next couple of weeks for those, okay? But I promise you, they are coming. But yes, y'all, that is it. If you are a patron on the Patreon, I want to thank you so much once again for being a patron. If you are a subscriber on the YouTube channel, I want to thank you once again for being a subscriber. And yeah, y'all, we'll see you on the next video. Bye.